Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope everyone is doing okay. This is Eric. I'm in the house, and I wanted to do a quick live and just kind of let me just see here what's going on. Um, yes. So good afternoon. Today I wanted to do a quick live. I'm here in the studio, and just wanted to just have an opportunity to kind of touch base. A couple weeks ago, I did a live, and I appreciate, oh my goodness, the comments and the support that I had received for doing that, and I appreciated that. Let me just turn that on. But today I wanted to talk to you about taking care of you, because you matter. Um, Life gets busy. I think we can all agree that the stress of life, the issues that you might be encumbered with on a daily basis. I know for myself, not only holding a full-time job, but running a couple of businesses and, being a family man, having children, trying to do the mundane daily things that you do, you get inundated, certainly with ministry and an assortment of other things. It becomes increasingly difficult. And the thing I wanted to say that it's so important because sometimes you lose yourself in the matter. What do I mean by that? You're giving to family, you're making sure that everyone else is taken care of, but then the most important person, you don't take care of yourself. Now, oftentimes when I think about this, and I've said it quite often, even in different settings, that the most difficult check to cash is a reality check. Yes, I love checks. I think anyone on this line that might be here this afternoon would like to receive a few checks. Even multiple streams of income are favorable to me, and that's why I have multiple businesses. But the reality of what it is that a reality check brings you back to focus. And as I've said, that reality check is the hardest check to cash. And what brought me to this was kind of the reality is that, you spend so much time trying to do for everything and everyone else that you forget about yourself. And I think that we need to recenter that. We need to recalibrate that, the way we think about that. I mean, I know traditional businesses, if you're working for a traditional company, you are given maybe 1 or 2 weeks of vacation, or maybe you've accumulated at least 4 weeks of vacation, but that's determined upon them to give you the time, based on their availability. And oftentimes we're left with taking time based off of someone else's schedule. And you know what? I've worked that traditional model. I've lived in that traditional model. I don't necessarily like that traditional model. I prefer to have freedom to be able to do what I want. And, that may sound selfish to most, but the reality is that, I don't believe that to be true. You should be able to do and to have, wealth, and to be able to have freedom, and to be able to experience life. I think your health is attributed to your wealth. And I've heard that said. And I wanted to tell you that if you're not healthy, that is going to contribute to your wealth or lack thereof. And so I believe that we need to get to a place where we are focused in on the realities of what is controlling our lives, who is controlling our lives, what parameters of those things are controlling our lives. Because if we're not taking time for ourselves, okay, then I think that we're on a downhill sled to disaster and destruction. in large part because we're waiting for an opportunity to take time for ourselves. And I don't believe that that is what it's supposed to be. I mean, to quote a phrase, 3 John and 2 says, "Beloved, above all things, I wish that thou mayest prosper, be in health, even as thy soul prospers." And I know that this is not intended to be a quote unquote religious setting, but if I were to use a scriptural reference to reinforce the point that I'm trying to make, there has to be a balance between wealth in terms of financial wealth. There has to be a balance between your physical health and your just emotional prosperity. Because there are people that are out there that are not, really emotionally sound. I mean, you can have people that are, wealthy in terms of, having money. We could talk about the Bill Gates of the world. We could talk about the Warren Buffetts of the world. We can talk about all of these individuals that may have large sums of money, and we can look at them and say, oh, they make so much money and they're very wealthy, but we don't know if they're destitute in their emotions. We don't know if they're destitute in their physical beings, in terms of their physical nature. And so I think that the point in large part is to get to a point where we can have a holistic portion, to be a holistic individual where we can have, the financial freedom that we want, the emotional freedom that we want, the livelihood of life, to be able to say that, you know what, I'm going to live, and I'm going to live by my terms, and I'm not going to wait for a vacation for someone to say to me that I need to take care of myself. I think that this is just a time and an age where you need to start taking back on a day-to-day basis, right? And to take daily vacations for you. I get that, the woman would go and they get their hair done and they can get a mani-pedi and they feel good about themselves on that day. But then after that moment, if there's no reinforcement in terms of being able to have a regimented time where you take for yourself to read, take for yourself to take a nap, take for yourself to think, you end up becoming something else than what was really intended. And I think that that's really the point of the message, because when I say that you need to take care of you because you matter, I don't care how much and how involved or how evolved we are in terms of friends or as family. We may not have as much interaction, but you're friends with me on Facebook. We're family on Facebook. And even a small electromagnetic shock will move you. What do I mean by that? Well, you don't need a whole lot of electricity to make you move. You can just get a shock on your table or on a fork or knife, and then you move. And so therefore, even in those little responses and those little relationships, you matter. You matter much to me because I need you, and I hope that this is symbiotic in some respect, that we need each other, because we're living in this thing and we're living this life and we're trying to figure this thing out, and we're trying to figure ourselves out, and it gets cumbersome and it gets problematic, but you can do this, and I need for you to survive. I need for you because you matter. What brought me to this was, quite honestly, because all of that I described it comes from a failure. It comes from a failure. I'm not coming to you saying, well, oh my goodness, I had this great success. I was feeling lethargic, and I mean, this is going on months, because I'm burning out time here, I'm burning out time there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and you're burning your life away, and there's no reconnaissance, there's no coming back from this stuff. And then all of a sudden, my daily routine would require a few cups of coffee, and all of a sudden I'm feeling sluggish, I'm feeling downtrodden. I'm already set up for a doctor's appointment, trying to get, a physical and all of this other stuff. And needless to say, now check this out, it was that I was actually dehydrated. I was dehydrated. And you know what? I had burned and bummed my life out so much. I was lethargic. I was feeling sluggish. I was feeling down, and my water intake was minimal to none. Well, that was my solution, and that was from a physical nature. But just think about it. It can metastasize in so many different areas, and there can be so many different things that we can be lacking. And in those areas that we're lacking, we essentially are downtrodden our bodies, downtrodden our lives. And so what I wanted to say, and I appreciate it, I see your comments up here. Thank you so much. Pastor Ruby, Cheryl, I see you. And I agree. I remember Don Pickin, and Don, that was my man. That was my friend. I appreciate him. My cousin Cheryl, I appreciate you. But the reality about all of this stuff is that life is worth living if you really know how to live it. And I wasn't living. I was just doing a bunch of things that were mandated. Thank you, Dana. I was just living a life, but I wasn't living. And all of a sudden, I'm depleting my body, and I'm sluggish, and I was doing it to myself because I felt that I needed to do everything for everybody. And you know what? This is going to sound selfish, y'all. And many of you know my background. And I'm going to tell you, you better start taking some time for you. It's time for you to take time for you. You need to take you. Pastor Ruby, I know that you know this because of the fact that when you are you're held down with an additional responsibility by the Lord to be able to do a good work, oftentimes we would sell out. Not to Satan, not to the enemy, not to evil, but to the reality of just doing. And I want to say to you and to everyone, it is time. I care so much about you. I care so much about you because you know what? This was a wake-up call for me. This is a reality check for me. I didn't want to cash it, but I'm telling you now, I am now drinking more water. I've taken, I know how to talk. I've taken coffee out of my diet for now. I'm going to come back. This is not an eradication. This is just a temporary stay. But I am now done some research. I said, you know what? I'm going to get myself, and you know what? Just from that simple transformation, a simple transformation, my life, I feel so much better. I haven't drinking coffee in about 2 weeks. And yes, I do want some. I'm going to tell you, I am an addict. I do need my coffee. But the reality is, my life for myself, my life for my family, my life for my business partners, my life for my fellow Christians, my life for my friends that are on Facebook who need a message such as this today. You know what? I need to take care of me so that we can take care of each other. And if that makes any sense to you, if that resonates with you, if that resonates with your life, I challenge you to take care of you. I challenge you to be able to realize that you matter. Listen, you're no good to me or to your family, right? Until you decide that you are number one priority in your life. You are no good to no one not being here. So, beloved, above all things, I wish it that thou mayest prosper, be in health, even as your soul prospers. And I will tell you, your soul prospering is a good thing. But I think that we need to understand this from a real good perspective. And the real good perspective is that sometimes there are many roads that lead to Rome, many roads that lead to a final destination. And for my Christian leaders out there, please don't consider this to be sacrilege. This is just an opportunity to be able to talk to somebody, to talk to you, because oftentimes we miss it. We miss it. I missed it. This is a failure, but you know what? There's going to be a win on the other side. There's going to be a win on the other side, and I want you to win too. Because if you resonate with that, if you resonate with the fact that you know what, that this is, and you've been feeling, and you've been kind of torn, and you've been, strung out from different directions, this is not the place to quit, right? This is the place to recalibrate. This is the time to sit down and think, even if it means that you take 2 minutes. Start off very simply, but do it every day. This is your vacation time. Shut off your phone, shut off your computer, shut off that social media, whatever you need to do in order to get you into the center of who you are. Do it. But don't wait till somebody tells you to take a vacation. And even I'm telling you kind of to take a vacation. But even that, you determine on your own terms what kind of vacation you're going to take. And if you're starting to feel lethargic and because you're drinking too much coffee, as I was doing, coffee is it takes water from your system. It removes water. So I was contributing to my own demise, right? And there might be things that we're doing that contribute to our demise. And the reality and the bottom line is that we need to wake up from those things. We need to wake up from those realities and become the individuals that we're supposed to be. They need you. They need you, but they need you rested, they need you real, and they need you revived. So today, my dear friends, I set the mandate on you. Get some more water in your system. I know you preachers will go ahead and say the living water, and I tell you, you'd be completely right, but the reality is that catch them where they're at. Catch them where they're at. Hallelujah. Thank you, everyone, for taking a minute and watching me today. I hope this was inspirational for you. I'm telling you, my failure, by putting myself into a place of despondency and lethargicness, obviously was an opportunity to share with you that, you know what, we can come back from these setbacks. You're not intended to fail. The success mechanism in your life is going to force you to win, but you have to do it by making simple changes in your life in order for you to achieve that goal. We can do it. You can do it. I need you to do it. You need you to do it. Your family needs you to do it. Your business needs you to do it. And you know what? You need to do it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you all. Thank you for taking some time with me today, and I'll see you. Take care.